Bhaja Govindam, verse 6. Realize the body is just an instrument. Yavat pavano nivasati dehe tavat pruchhati kushalam gehe gatavati vayo deha paye bharya bhipyati tasmin kaye. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate. As long as there resides breath in the body, so long they enquire of your well-being at home. Once the breath leaves, the body decays. Even your wife fears that very same body. So, O foolish mind, seek Govinda, seek Govinda. Let's listen to a story based on verse 6. Once Indra, the king of all gods, came to earth seeking pleasure. He chose the form of a pig because generally, in terms of physical pleasure, the form of a pig is considered best. He found himself a beautiful female pig, married her, and produced dozens of piglets with her. Over time, he got very deeply involved and attached to them. The gods waited patiently in heaven, thinking it was a short pleasure trip. But when Indra did not return for a long time, they came down and saw this whole pig business in progress. They tried to reason with him to give up the pig's life and return to the heaven. But Indra was so deeply involved and attached to all this, he just grunted and left. The gods then decided to kill one piglet, hoping that the tragedy would make Indra realize his true nature and return. But for every piglet killed, Indra clung to the remaining ones harder. Eventually, the gods killed all the piglets. Soon Indra got busy producing more children. The gods then thought that Indra's real attachment was his wife, so they killed her. Now he was greatly distressed. Soon his pig friends and relatives suggested he take another wife, and the whole pig business started again. The gods were now completely at a loss with this, and Narada, the wise sage who was passing by and happened to see all this, said, "Why did you kill his wife and kids? His attachment is to his body. Destroy the body." So the gods cut his body into two halves, and Indra came out and said, "What the hell am I doing here?" and returned to heaven. The bondage with body is deep. That is the source of all attachments. We get so attached to our body despite knowing that it is but temporary. The body which we cater to so much is valued only till there is breath in it. Once the prana, life force, leaves us, the body starts decaying. The very body which was taken care so well and loved by relatives and friends immediately becomes unwanted to all once there is no life force. When there was life in it, Shiva, the presence of divinity, was there in it. But when that prana leaves the body, it becomes shava, or dead body. So, we must remember this and not get attached to the body so much. That doesn't mean we don't take care of the body and neglect it. Yes, we should take care of the vehicle, our body, for living a meaningful life, and use that as a means or a tool to understand and realize the truth, but not get unduly attached to it. We must pray to the divine to give us that understanding, to dispel the ocean of ignorance in which we are drowning slowly, day by day. So Shankara, through this verse, reminds us of the temporary nature of the body and advises us to chant the name of the Lord, who will ultimately guide and help us to realize our true self. Now, let's listen to a story for students. A beggar who lived very close to a palace saw a notice that was stuck on the entry gate one day. It said, "The king would be hosting a party soon. Anyone wearing the king's dress could join the party." It set the beggar thinking. He looked at himself with torn clothes and came to a conclusion that only the king's family would be able to attend. Anyways, he gained some courage and went to the palace gates. He requested the guard to allow him to meet the king. The guard went in to see the king. As luck would have it, the beggar was allowed entry. His joy knew no bounds. He went inside, and the king inquired about the purpose of his visit. He gained courage and said, "I would love to attend the feast that you will be hosting soon. Can I request you to give me your old attire so that I would be able to join the feast too?" The king readily agreed and gave him one of his robes. The beggar wore the outfit and looked at himself in the mirror. A majestic look indeed. He was very happy with his looks. The king told him that he had gained entry to attend the feast and said something very important to him. "You will have no necessity to wash or clean this dress. You can wear it forever." With tears in his eyes, he thanked the king profusely. Though he was happy, he did not readily believe the king. He was wondering, what if the attire tore? I will need my old clothes. And he packed all his old clothes and carried it along with him. He did not have a place to stay, so wherever he went, he carried the old clothes with him. He could not enjoy the dinner feast that the king hosted because his concentration was more on safeguarding the old clothes. He realized that the words of the king were true. The dress was intact and it didn't become dirty, though he always wore it. Still, he was so attached to his old clothes that he could never let go of it. Anyone who saw him noticed that bundle of old clothes, and he was named the man with the ragged clothes. Later, when the beggar was in his deathbed, the king came to see him. He noticed the bundle of old clothes was beside the beggar's pillow. The king felt sorry for him. The beggar remembered the king's words. The bundle of old clothes had literally spoiled his happiness. It is not just about him. All of us have this bundle of feelings: enmity, jealousy, hatred, anger, worries, so on and so forth. We continue living with all these vices and hence are not able to recognize the beautiful moments and enjoy. We are not able to let go, and that's the root cause of many problems. In palaces, people live like beggars, and in orphanage homes, there are people who live like kings. Not the outward appearance, but the attitude with which one views life is what matters. We continue to live with past happenings, convert our homes into godowns by stocking things unnecessarily. Our priorities are misplaced, and we waste our life in trivial things. Not just the home, but our mind is also like a godown, storing unnecessary thoughts. Happiness needs no reason. Let us learn to be happy. How many golden opportunities have been missed while we are busy servicing our ego? Every moment is heavy. Every situation is nerve-wracking. Every interaction is tense. An ego-filled heart is always walking on fire. Never can there be a moment of marriage between ego and ease. A crow carrying a piece of meat found itself being chased by all the birds. It dropped the piece of meat and all the birds went after the meat. Now alone in the sky, the crow remarked, "In losing that piece of meat, I gained the freedom of the skies." There is enormous freedom in letting your ego go. Learn to let go, accept situations and surrender to the Almighty. As we are growing up, especially during teen years, we consider our friends more valuable than our own parents. We get possessive about our friends and get hurt if we do not get their attention every time. This is true not only for friends, but for other relationships also. Some friendships last long, others do not. Time, circumstances take them away from us. The more we are possessive, we get more attached and afraid to let go. The more we get hurt. It is not worth it. We should develop a strong mind so that we maintain good friendships and relationships, but not get overly attached and dependent on it, that in the bargain we hurt ourselves. A strong mind can be developed if we spend some time daily with oneself through silent sitting, remembering and showing gratitude to the Almighty for all the blessings He has bestowed on us. Through constant practice, one can strengthen the mind. Jai Sai Ram.